What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. I'm your host, LL, leader of the handmadeandbeyond.com website and community. I'm a self-employed entrepreneur, an Etsy expert, and business coach who's figured out how to make my entire living with my handmade business. Each week, I'll dive into strategies and success tips to help you with your handmade business, with Etsy, and everything in between. Let's dive in. All right, guys, what is up? Welcome back to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. Glad to be back with you as usual. Of course, I hope you and your family are doing awesome. I am doing pretty well myself. We are maybe we'll be diving, but we're getting closer to summer. So then we'll be diving into pools and oceans and all that good stuff. So the summertime is always a fun time to, get out and about. And if you're dealing with, a lot of cold weather and crazy winters, it's always good to feel that warm weather rather, and get the sun on your face and just get refreshed. Maybe go on that a little staycation, maybe vacation, depending on where you're at. Things are starting to get a little bit better with COVID and all that good stuff. And hopefully your businesses are doing well. If not, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you guys the support, the motivation to keep going, because that is the only way not to fail, right? Is to continue to keep going. And you'll learn a lot from it as well. Don't look at it like as a failure. Look at it as motivation and a learning experience, because sometimes it takes a while to push that boulder up the hill. So today's episode, I want to talk about the Sell on Etsy app. So I've mentioned it here and there, sometimes in passing, but I wanted to dedicate an entire episode to the Sell on Etsy app because I think it's super important for you guys to have. And hopefully it's something that you already have, or maybe you're just not sure of all the features of the Sell on Etsy app. So I just want to kind of go over that and give you a rundown so that you guys know what it is, what to expect. And if you hear my dog snoring underneath me, I apologize. So it is not my stomach growling or anything like that. But this is real life. This is the work from home life and the way that it is. So as long as we're not barking. But anyways, so the Sell on Etsy app, you can get it for Android or Apple. Most phones you can get it for. And what it is really a mini version of your Etsy store. So it pretty much has everything on there that you can do on a web browser on your computer, but it's in the app. So it's a lot easier, a lot quicker to get to. You can post listings on there, you can view stats, you can do all that good stuff on there. So the main thing that I use it for is when you turn it on, you have a dashboard. You can see your daily sales, you can see your daily stats as far as total visits, total views, revenues, orders. You can go to the stats tab and get a more in-depth view as well. You can also go to the orders tab and view all of your orders. You can go to the messages tab as well and see your messages, current, past, new messages, whatever the case may be. And then there's news and activity feed where you can see like people that favorite. It'll also show you your recent orders and all that good stuff. So it is basically an overview of what you look at when you go to the dashboard within the Etsy browser. It's just a mini version of that. So like I said, you can post listings on the Etsy app. It's just not as easy, I don't think. I like to do it on the browser, web browser. It's just a lot faster. It's bigger. It's easier to navigate rather than from your phone. But you can do it. I know people that do it from the Sell on Etsy app on their phones, on their tablets. Whatever you have to use is totally cool. Whatever your preference is, technology is pretty awesome. Apps are pretty awesome. It makes it a lot easier, so you don't always have to have a web browser. So that's nice. But really, the game-changing part of the Sell on Etsy app that I want to talk about today is when you get the app, you download it. There on the bottom right, there is a more option where it has like 3 slashes. So if you click on that, it'll have an app settings option. And when you go to there, you can actually set up your app settings for how you want it to send you, or what you want it to send push notifications for. So this is really what I mostly use this app for, and this is why I think it's pretty cool, is because you can set up messages or push notifications rather, to notify you when you get a message from a customer, when someone buys your item, when someone favorites your item, when someone leaves you a review. And there's a couple other little ones you can do, like if someone favorites your shop. And then there's some mini settings where you can see what shows up in the bar, like number of messages, number of orders, stuff like that. So the 4 things that I talk about, having push notifications for messages, purchases, reviews, and favorites are the main ones that you would probably want. And I'm going to go over why. So for messages, this is, if you don't have any, you should have this. Because when someone sends you a message, it'll come to your email, Etsy will email you. But if you have this push notification set up and you have this app installed, you'll get that message right away, pushed to your phone. And if you have your phone on you, which most people do, they always have their phone on them now, you can respond right away. So if it's a general question about one of your products and you answer it right away or very quickly, that really bodes well for customers. And 99% of the time, if it's a question when you're asking it based on something that you have or just to clarify something, they'll buy from you. They will buy from you immediately because they're like, wow, I can't believe you responded that fast. A. B, if you handle your customers this way, your customer service this way, how awesome is your products going to be? So sometimes, you're going to have weird questions where they ask for something that you don't have, and obviously those people aren't going to buy from you. But so it's a good best practice just to have that push notification set up on your app so you can respond to customers right away, and most of them will buy from you. And it's just a really great feature that I love. So I always have that turned on. Now, if you're driving or something, it's not, you're not going to be able to respond, but you'll get the notification so you know your next available time that you can reply to make sure that you reply. You can also see purchases, so if someone buys from you. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of, pat yourself on the back, celebrate a little bit, especially if you have a new shop. Hopefully down the road, you're doing so well it gets annoying and you turn it off because it can be distracting if you're getting notifications all the time. But it's still a really cool feature to see when someone purchases. And I still remember when my first order came in, how awesome that felt to this day. So it is a great feeling to get your first order. And when you have that push notification, you'll see it right away and you can celebrate right away. The other thing is reviews. Well, let me backtrack. Let me cover favorites first. So favorites, you can have it set to push notifications. Now this will eventually be a lot. You'll get inundated with favorites. So it's something that I probably wouldn't turn on. At first, it may be cool to see who's favoriting your stuff and use it as motivation. But at some point, it's probably going to get annoying because you're going to start getting a lot of favorites. So the last one that I want to talk about is reviews. So you can have it send you a push notification for someone that sends you a review, and you're like, oh, okay, that's pretty neat. And it is neat because you can see the good reviews that hopefully you're getting. The reason I have it turned on though is for the bad reviews, the ones that you don't want. Good reviews, yes, you'll get those, and that'll make you feel good. You can give yourself a pat on the back. But every once in a while, hopefully not too often, if you're running things on the up and up and you have good quality products, you're not going to get very many bad reviews. But at some point, you will get one or a couple just because you can't please everybody. But why you want the push notification is so when someone sends you a bad review, you can see it and reply to them immediately and ask to fix the issue. So first, you get the bad review and you're like, oh man, this stinks. Reply to them and say, I just got the review. I'm super sorry that this happened. I would like to make it right. Here's what I would like to offer. Or if you're not sure how to make it right, just ask them. I'm not, I would like to, change. I'd like to make things better. What would you suggest would change your mind or would make you happy? So I would suggest if you do make them an offer, just make sure you're going above and beyond. That is the goal. So if you mess something up, which I've done a couple of times, you send them a replacement, you fix it, and then maybe you offer them something free. If you promised them that something would arrive by a certain time and you didn't send it out in a certain time, which I've also done. Just go above and beyond. I usually have offered them another item for free, or you refund the item and still give them the item, or refund shipping, or maybe you refund shipping and discount the item, give a partial refund back. So there's a lot of options in your wheelhouse that you guys have, a lot of tools that you can select from to go above and beyond to kind of ease that pain. And sometimes it may not be your fault. It may be the post office's fault. It may just be the customer's fault because they didn't read. That's going to happen too. But at the end of the day, it is your review. It is your shop's review. So you have to do whatever you can to fix it, no matter if it's your fault or not. I know a lot of people get super caught up in the fact that, it's not my fault. Why should I have to deal with this? Or, they get angry, and you guys got to get over it. You got to fix it and then just move on with your life. Don't let it ruin things. It's only going to really affect you if you get a couple bad reviews in a short period of time. Then your shop can get suspended or shut down. Obviously, if it's a new shop, bad reviews look worse too because it averages out. But you guys can overcome that. And if you're messaging them right away and fixing it right away, what I'm getting at is once you fix the issue, and this is why you should go above and beyond, then you check back with them and say, I hope everything worked out, or I hope you're happy with the solution. If you wouldn't mind, I'd really appreciate you updating the review. And most of the time, 99% of the time, they will go back in, update the review, and then it won't show as a bad review in your dashboard. So that is really important because you want to try and have them change the review. And another kind of tidbit to keep in mind too is don't respond to that bad review right away. A lot of people get upset. They're like, this customer didn't read the description. Now they left me a bad review. I'm going to respond publicly to the review, which you can do, so customers know what really happened. Well, as soon as you respond to that review, it locks it so the customer cannot change it. So if you respond, it'll lock it, and then you fix the solution or provide a solution, ask them to update it. They won't be able to update it. So hold out on doing that. Try to fix the problem first, and then ask them to change the review. And then if they don't change the review, then maybe you want to post a public reply, because we all know how that looks, right? If you want to go to a restaurant or whatnot, you look at the reviews, and there's a couple bad ones, but the restaurant owner replied to them and apologized, maybe clarified some stuff. That makes you feel really good. You're like, wow, that customer's or that owner's really engaged. It's probably not as bad as the customer made it out to be. So it always looks good to respond to bad reviews if that is the only option that you have. But there's a lot of options that you can do first to try and alleviate that. But that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to touch on the Sell on Etsy app. You guys should have it for your phones, your tablets, just primarily for the messages and the reviews. Those things can be game-changing things to really provide awesome customer service. And then obviously for the celebratory stuff that you guys want to see, favorites, sales, that stuff is always cool to keep yourself motivated, especially early on in your journey. Every little bit of motivation helps because it's sometimes a little bit slower, sometimes a little bit more of a struggle than you want. But the key, like I've always said, is not giving up, continuing to move forward, and you'll get to where you want to be. You just can't stop. Last but not least, if you guys aren't aware, there is a Handmade and Beyond community that is for Etsy sellers to help them start, build, and grow their Etsy businesses. It's a cool place to come hang out, get the help that you need from myself, talk to other sellers as well in the help forum. There's also the brand new Etsy Success Roadmap in there with 50 courses and counting with all the strategies I've used to start, build, and grow my Etsy business. And then we also have live member-only coaching calls every single month. And then I usually throw in some bonus coachings and some bonus tools, resources as well along the way. I'm always looking for ways to improve the Handmade and Beyond community to help members succeed and get to their goals as fast as possible. If you guys want to test drive it, give it a try, see everything in there. There is a free trial. You can go to handmadeandbeyond.com/HB free trial to test it out. There's also a link below. I'd love to see you guys in there and work with me, work with other sellers to grow your Etsy business, get the support, and just go and hang out and feel like it's you're not alone in your journey, because you're not. There's a lot of people trying to do the same thing that you're doing. So I hope to see you guys in there very, very soon. Other than that, have an awesome rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys next week.